Hi, Dr. Valerie Baker with you today to talk about how sometimes life, always life, is our best teacher in reclaiming our power, how easy it is to miss these opportunities and go the opposite way, go the other way, and what wonders can happen when we use these opportunities to reclaim our power. So my 6.5-year-old and I finally went to see Wonder Woman, and I did some obsessive research beforehand to make sure it was age appropriate. You know that I'm obsessive from the previous video where we did some looking into what's wrong with you, and we had a power reclamation party. So I encourage you to find that video, and if you like it, and leave a comment. What's wrong with you? And we'll use these as gateways of reclamation. And today the gateway we'll use has to do with Wonder Woman. So if you haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, I'm going to signal you where you need to press mute. And I'm going to signal you again like this to unmute, okay? So I don't give anything away. Okay, so there is this theme in Wonder Woman where when she's growing up, her trainer, the Amazon trainer, keeps telling her, you're not using your whole power. You're much more powerful than you know. And well, she's doing her best, she thinks, right? And then years pass. And so cut forward, she's facing her arch nemesis at last. And she falls down and she's wrapped in this piece of metal, and it looks like she's not gonna be able to get out of that. And so her nemesis goes, ha ha ha, who did you think you were, right? And she's forgetting who she is, or maybe she never knew truly deeply her power, which I think is true for all of us. And so she's lying there and she's giving up. She's giving up. There is no hope. And then she sees this plane in the sky, and she knows this is her partner, the only man she's known and we assume loved. And the plane blows up in the sky. And she feels this deep pain, the likes of which she's never felt before. And she roars and she liberates herself from her, whatever was binding her, from her bondage, what was holding back her power. And she rises and she taps into the power which she did not know she had. You can unmute now. All safe, and I hope you go see Wonder Woman. It is incredible. And as I was watching it, I kept checking in with my daughter during the battle scenes, fighting scenes. I would check in with her and ask, is this scary? And she would whisper back to me, no, this is amazing. So amazing it was. It was amazing to see that reclamation. So when we watch a movie like Wonder Woman, we get it, right? Like it takes this extreme circumstance, this extreme pain to tap into the power that she didn't know she had. That makes sense, right? That's a very common story arc of a hero's journey or heroine's journey. But what happens when it happens in our own life? So in our own life, we're very conditioned to retreat from pain. So I'm going to tell you a story of my own learning of how conditioned I was to retreat from pain. It also has to do with my daughter. A lot of cool stories have to do with her. And this was one when I was giving birth to her. And I had a wonderful doula. Thank God for her, who was coaching me through this. And so it came to pushing. And I was pushing and feeling this excruciating pain. And at some point, the nurse turned around to me and said, you're not pushing. And I went like, what? I think I am. I feel like I am. I'm like about to explode. And then my doula leaned into me and she said, well, you're moving away from the pain. This is not like labor. This is giving birth. So your only way out of the pain is through the pain. So the more it hurts, that's where you need to go. You need to go into the pain to get out of the pain. And because I was completely delirious, out of my mind, so much in pain, I guess I had no resistance left in me. And so I decided to take her word for it and just go. And I went and I went and I went into the pain and into the pain. And at some point, the pain became just a sensation, which was irrelevant to what was going on. And my glorious daughter emerged, all almost 10 pounds of her. And so that was my very visceral learning of how conditioned I was not to go into the pain. And it changed the way I lived my life. It really did. Maybe not 100%. But now when I see the opportunity created by pain, I try to go right in. Because if I don't, guess what? Life has its own curriculum. Life is not going to let you get away with not tapping into the fullness of your power. Life creates these circumstances, these painful circumstances, for you to go in and reclaim your power fully. And what happens is, just like on a hero's or heroine's journey, when you declare yourself, when you declare, I'm going to step into my power, I'm going on a journey, the shit hits the fan. The bottom falls out. The journey actually begins. So this is inspired by a wonderful, powerful woman I had a conversation with a few days ago, and we tapped into her power, we tapped into her vision, and we decided how we're gonna move into that vision. And then just a few days later, she sends me a message saying that her life has brought this extreme circumstance, a lot of pain, and that she's not gonna continue through with implementing her vision. And this pains me very deeply, because those exact circumstances, this is like giving birth to yourself, right? It's moving into the pain. Her life has created a perfect opportunity for her power reclamation. It's perfect. It's painful. It hurts. But by leaning into that opportunity, she stands to reclaim so much of who she truly is and fully deliver her vision, fully deliver on her divine assignment in the world. So at every point the pain comes up, we have two choices. We can move away, just like I was doing when I was not pushing, apparently, or we can move right in. And life gives us these opportunities to give birth to ourselves. Very often, small pains or big ruptures when the bottom falls out. And if you've been following me for some time, you know that I've been dealing with one of those in my own life. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can find it on my blog, drvaleriebaker.com. And this has been a dance, alternatingly leaning away from it and leaning into it. But by leaning into the pain, what has been happening is really stepping up in a bigger way, really reaching for bigger things and playing bigger than I had ever thought possible. Because why does life create these excruciating circumstances for us? Why? Is this God punishing us? No, life is very compassionate, but life knows that given a place to hide, we will hide. Given a place to hide, we will hide. So life creates these circumstances where hiding is no longer an option, such as in my own life with my husband's illness. It became not an option for me to lean back and say, well, it's okay if I don't earn enough money. It's okay if I don't make this work. It's okay because he's a guy and we're married and he's supposed to be the breadwinner. It's not my conscious thinking, believe me, but that's the subconscious conditioning that keeps us playing small. This is what Wonder Woman was falling back into when she was lying down on the ground, helpless, because she hadn't yet tapped into her power. So, what rupture are you going through in your life right now? What's the invitation? What can you reclaim when you lean into it? Does it have to be painful? Well, no. In her wonderful book, Eat, Pray, Love, Elizabeth Gilbert told the story told to her by Ketut, her mentor. And he said that he's traveled up to heaven and down to hell in his beautiful metaphorical way. And he said that to her question, what's the difference between heaven and hell? He said, well, it's the same, Liz. In heaven, you go up 7 places, and in hell, you go down 7 sad places. And there is no difference. So better go up, better be happy on the journey. Life presents opportunities for us to go up and be happy on the journey every day. Every day we can step up and play bigger, every day. But if there is a place to hide, we will hide. That's why sometimes life has to pull the rug from under us. Sometimes the bottom has to fall out. It's done compassionately. It's not done to punish us. It's done to help us, like Wonder Woman, reclaim her deepest power. Please let me know in the comments, what power have you reclaimed through pain in your life? And what power maybe you stand to reclaim through what's going on in your life right now? With so much love, I'll see you next week. Until then, stay in your heart.